How you doing there? Peter P., founder of Vegas Family Solar, right here in the deserts of Southern Nevada. Solar tip in under 2 minutes. This is going to go over 2 minutes, but it's certainly worth it. Now, the topic is AI data centers. Now, these data centers are popping up all over the U.S. right now. And these data centers, as we all know, consume a tremendous amount of energy. And some localities across the U.S. are beginning to fight the data centers, and there's a big fight between data centers and the people who live in those communities. Because when data centers come in, and these data centers have not even been built yet, but they're already pushing electricity rates higher and higher more rapidly than they ever been before. Now, this is strictly in anticipation of the data centers. So once these data centers are actually turned on and they're consuming close to their full potential, well, you can expect those electricity rates to even spike even further, even more rapidly. Now, unfortunately, there's not enough electricity to supply all of the demand. And the big data centers, they're backed by billionaires. So who do you think your local politicians and state assembly people are going to back? They're likely going to back the big money, not the average Joe. Unfortunately, that's simply the way it is. At least it seems that way from my point of view. Tell me if I'm wrong. So as we move forward, electricity is going to be a huge hot commodity that we're all fighting for. You have to pay a lot more for. So if you think of solar was a means to kind of cushion your energy bill as rates just rise steadily at about 2%, maybe 3% a year. But energy rates are looking to go up at about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11% a year once these AI data centers are fully commissioned and they're up and running. Which means that solar is not necessarily a means to cushion your bill and make things a little bit easier for you. They very well could be a means to your very own survival. Now, if you agree with that premise, or at least somewhat, then you're certainly thinking about solar systems and batteries and the whole 9 yards. I would encourage you to look at solar systems that allow you to consume what you produce at the moment that you produce it. 95% of all solar systems that you see on these rooftops, 100% of that production goes back to NV Energy. Not 1 watt is consumed by that household, which is why if the power went out, if NV Energy lost power, lost the ability to provide power to your house for whatever reason, cyber attack, terrorist attack, the grid just collapsed under its own weight, that solar system would no longer work. Well, what's the point, right? So you want a solar system with an inverter. It's a multi-mode inverter that allows you to consume what you produce at the moment that you produce it. Now, that is the only solution in my opinion, because as long as you are attached to the hip, to the grid, and they have the control, well, they're going to charge you what they want to charge you, and those prices are going to continue to rise. But if you can produce your own energy and consume the energy that you produce at your house, without batteries, by the way, you're going to be in a much more stronger place financially, and you're going to live a much better life. I can almost guarantee you that. Now, if you wanted batteries, certainly batteries are great as well, but you want a system where you can take advantage of the sun right here, right now, to combat the ever spiking electricity rates, and they've only begun to spike. Imagine when all these AI data centers are up and running, and they're consuming, and they're operating at just 60% of their capacity. Imagine what rates will look like then. So I hope this brought some information to you. You want a multi-mode inverter that allows you to consume what you produce at the moment that you produce it. So you are pulling from your own personal grid, your own electricity that you're consuming from your own property. You're using it to power your AC, your blow dryer, your refrigerator, your lights, you name it. You're independent and you're going to be much safer for that, okay? Take care. Bye-bye now.